Hey, it's Risa from Sing Into Reading, where you can teach your child to read with music and love. And it is January 8th, 2021, and I was all set to do a New Year's blog, and then this week happened, and I really want to talk a little bit about that New Year's blog, but then I really have to respond to this week. So here I go. Um, I love New Year's. I love January. Um, I can't stand the cold, but aside from the cold, January is my favorite month of the year because it's my birthday and it's the birthday of one of my heroes, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., hero for our country. And because it's his birthday month in January, I get to sing all my favorite freedom and justice songs. Um, so it's a great month for me musically. And I love the process of setting New Year's goals and the self-reflection that goes with reflecting on the year past and thinking about the year coming and seeing time as a continuum and this moment in time as a part of it. I get all geeked out on it. I love this process. I love self-reflection anyway. It's something I'm constantly doing. I'm someone who I'm just constantly reevaluating what I do, thinking about what I can do better. So New Year's is a great time for me to do that. And I really like to think about what I can do better professionally as well as personally. Um, and I like doing that work with my children. My kids are now tweens, so I get to talk to them about New Year's goals and goal setting like grownups, basically. But when they were younger, I started talking to them about setting goals when they were about four, 4 or 5. And, kids have a very different sense of time than we do. Think about a year. How big is a year? Well, I'm almost 49. So for me, it's 1/49th of my life. If I was 4 years old, a year would be like a quarter of my life, 25% of my life, and probably half to all of my part of my life I remember in memory. Um, so a year, that unit of time, it feels very different to kids. Um, Time is a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing to grasp as an adult. And with kids as well, time is a tricky thing. So please do calendar work with your kids. Um, I printed out these great calendars for my members of keeping track of what you read, write, and sing every day. And this is this week's calendar. And here, you'll probably see it better in this version. And in addition to weekly calendars in my house, we've always had a kitchen calendar so we can keep track of the days. And when they were little, we had a Melissa and Doug magnetic calendar that was really helpful. But do calendar work with your kids from as soon as you can, because it's a hard thing to grasp. Like I said, time is a hard thing to grasp, and it takes a lot of review. So back to reflection. When I'm talking to my kids about New Year's, I talk about thinking about the year past and all the things they learned and accomplished and did, and thinking about the year coming and all of the wonderful things that are coming this year and what they might learn or do this year. Maybe they'll play more soccer this year. Maybe they'll learn to tie their shoes. Maybe they'll learn to swim. Maybe they'll learn to ride a bike. Maybe they'll learn to read or write. And ask them what they want to learn or do this year. Ask them. See what they say. I bet they'll surprise you. And then you can have them write about it. And you can say, why don't you write about your goals this year? Just give them a plain piece of paper and have them draw a picture of it. Even if it looks like scribbles, then you can write the caption for them. This year I will learn to swim, or whatever it is they say is their goal. And then you have that goal. You can write the date on the back and look back on it at the end of the year and see how they did. And if no shame, no blame, if they didn't learn it yet, say, guess what? We have another year. Maybe you'll learn it this year. Do you want to make that your goal this year, or do you want a new goal? So I love goal setting, even with kids, daily goals, weekly goals, and yes, even yearly goals. And I did write a song for the new year, and I would love to share it with you. You can write your own verses based on your New Year's goals. And parents, if you have New Year's goals in your parenting, maybe you want to read every day or sing every day. Think about it. It's a new year, it's a new start. Time to check in with your head and your heart. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? How can you do better this year? This year I will learn to swim. This year I will learn to swim. This year I will learn to swim. I'll learn to swim this year. It's a new year. It's a new start. Time to check in with your head and your heart. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? How can you do better this year? This year I will read more. This year I will read more. This year I will read more. I'll read more this year. It's a new year. It's a new start. Time to check in with your head and your heart. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? How can you do better this year? So, because we have had the week that we have had, I just want to say that something I do consciously as a parent that I know you do too is I deliberately teach peace and do my best to instill values in my children so that hopefully they grow up to be peacemakers in the world, and that they grow up to be people who do good in the world. And one of my New Year's goals this year is to work even harder in that direction. And I wanted to share that with you in light of this week. I think we need more peacemakers in the world. And I know that all of your children will be the peacemakers. That's it, guys. Happy New Year. I love you. Keep singing.